Hello guys and welcome to episode 2 of our interactive season on Football Manager 2018 with the one and only Top Corner FC. So there was some good feedback answering to the polls on our first video. Don't forget to do that again this week. We want you involved. Other than rattling through the friendlies, which we will get to our results and star players next, there were a few changes to make around the club. First up, scouting budgets. Now, if you navigate to your transfers and player search section, you can decide on what budget to set for your scouting network. It will either limit or maximise the size of your network. So lower league clubs will have less to play with obviously, then global household names like Real Madrid will have almost the pick of the lot. Although it has to be said, regions like Southeast Asia, the Caribbean and Africa are always barely scratched, so it's always a good idea to bring in a scout who knows those areas specifically. Anyway, we have plenty of money left over from our creating a Wonderkids squad, so we set the scouting budgets to the max, and that way we can find you more Wonderkids. Next, we also had to revamp our staff list, so now we have 21 staff. You can imagine how long that took. Most are ex-internationals, everybody wants younger coaches who are not long retired, and we filtered out the bad from the really bad, leaving us with this. Assistant manager is Dane Thomas Helveg. You'll remember him as a player running out mainly for AC Milan and also a great servant to his country. He's one of the best sort of ex-international coaches around. As you can see, he has 13 in almost all of his areas, at least. One of the main things I was looking for in these guys was the ability to work with youngsters that would be really beneficial. Mark van Bommel then, he fits that bill. The former Dutch international was under-19s manager at PSV until I shipped him in. He has 19 for determination along with that 15 for working with the youth. Former players I also snapped up include Enrico Chiesa, Phil Neville, don't groan. Then as we get down to the scouts, former Bayern Munich CB Daniel van Buiten. In the under 23s we have the staff who have a bit of potential but pretty much have poor stats right now. So that's Kevin Doyle. Okay, so he knows the division well, that's our thinking. Landon Donovan, he comes across as a natural leader to me, and also Marcus Senna. A lot of love for Senna. Obviously he came through at a point when Spain had Xavi and Iniesta in midfield, so for me that makes him a hugely underrated player. It's very random, but I just love Senna. When it comes to transfers, and I'll pop up your guys' comments as we go along, mainly I said I needed a right back and everyone was literally just shouting at me saying Kieran Tierney. Well, we did give that a go. We do have 100 million in the kitty, but I kind of want a little bit of that for the Premier League title charge next year. Yeah, title charge. We put in bids up to 24 million for Tierney and then I called it off. They wanted more like double that, so nah. You're alright, Brendan Rodgers. Instead, our scouts did pick up a tasty looking 20-year-old Italian on the cheap, Lorenzo Dickman. Great name, I know, but he even turned us down. What a dickhead. He could be a good signing for some of you out there though who are playing Football Manager 2018. His attributes cover all the areas that will make him a decent fullback and win back, as you can see on the screen now. Another young gun I like the look of then from our scouts, and we're probably going to sign him for the under 23s, Veruca Maya. He's Ugandan, 19, and he's a real physical presence up top. 16 strength, 16 balance, 14 acceleration, 16 bravery, then 12 dribbling, first touch, and currently 11 for finishing. He's only valued at 450k from Standard Liège in Belgium, and with 11 goals and 25 international caps. Like. Moving on to our friendly results then. So the majority of you wanted the classic 4-2-3-1 formation, although some did seem a little bit intrigued by this 2-4-1-2-1 chaos. So we dabbled with a bit of both, playing 4 for one and 3 games in the other. As you can see, we won all of them but one, and that was a game where we rotated the team a lot with a lot of players from the under 23s. 7 games in total and we only conceded 3. Defence is definitely our strongest point. Delict and Upamecano are complete rocks in the centre of defence. From the friendlies, we have this as our starting lineup. Zidane in goal, of course. Just the 2 centre backs I found, and don't ask how, but we were more comfortable in this super bizarre formation, so that's what we're starting with. These 4 across the middle then, the wing backs, essentially what I'm thinking is they can easily make up a back 4 when needed, and then when they want to catapult forward, the anchoring midfielders can cover them from left to right. On the left, Timon has outplayed Sessegnon, both of them having the same game time, so he starts. Ronaldo Vieira is a deep line playmaker. That would usually be Brazilian Arthur. Unfortunately though guys, he's injured for like 2 months or something stupid. So sorry about that if you've got your Top Corner shirt with Arthur on the back. I'll look into getting refunds for you. Zheng Ji, he is holding, and then Jedson Fernandez is our right back for the time being. Tom Davies in the middle. Originally I was going to play him further forward, but this man has been our highest rated player over the friendlies. Phil Foden. He's been quality in that hole, so he starts. Then there's Kuki in the inside forward role to the right. He's also been very, very decent. Up top, most people in the last video, they wanted our North Korean lad to start. So he does, Han Kwang-song. To be fair, if he didn't start, it would probably be Diego Forlan. The likes of Adam Armstrong and Johannes Eggstein have been terrible. So there's the team. It has to be said that we also have Justin Cliver in the medical room, Anzi Gomez and Reece Oxford. So we're not at full strength at all. Let's kick off the season then. First game, home at HITC Stadium against Derby. Come on. Yeah, okay. So that was just so embarrassingly underwhelming. The most unepic game I could have ever imagined. 0-0, we were terrible. I bigged up Phil Foden before the game and he played a 6.3, the lowest rating out of all the players. Basically, we're just so bad going forward. So bad. But, woo, let's do another game. Hey, what a team result. 3-0 against Grimsby. Han Kwang-song, he scored 2. There's the first one. Little layoff by Tom Davies. He can't believe it. The celebration, hands in his face. There's the second one. Han, penalty taker. He's the leading man now, this North Korean kid. Gribben with a ball in, and that's Delict to make it 3-0. Very happy with that. I mean, we still haven't really worked out what formation we're going to be playing, but we've got players coming back from injury, so that should make it a little bit easier and clearer for us. I still need help on this right back situation though. So one of these 4 players we're going to sign. I'll put them up on the screens as we go along. In the poll, which is in your top right corner, we need you to tell us which player we should sign. Player 1, should we sign 19-year-old Emmanuel Eje-Sawa from Anderlecht? I see some potential in him. He's got pace there and he's already good at dribbling. Just needs to work on his strength, but you know, we can get him on the weights in the gym. Or should we sign player 2, which is Alex Pinto from Benfica? Already you can see his stats are much better. He's the same age, but I imagine he'll cost us a little bit more. Player 3, he's the youngest of them. He's only 18 years old. We also have Jordan Latomba. He's more of a winger than a wing back, but we do need some more attacking flair into this team. And finally, the last right wing back, Giovanni Truppe, who plays in the Dutch league. As you can see, he's got some good stats around the board too. Needs some work on the strength like most young players do. So get your votes in now. We're pretty much burnt out. In the next episode, we will be playing Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, Leeds, and we've got Fulham in the Cup. So we'll be about 5 games into the Championship and we'll have a good idea who our best players are, which Wonderkids are coming through, and if it's actually realistic that we can get promoted this season. I've been Liam Curtis. This is HITC Top Corner Gaming. Come on the Wonderkids.